To give a very quick intro about myself, I started at age 35, so that was last year when I founded Deal Room. Before that, I worked for 10 years in investment banking. I was actually the only one in my family who didn't become an entrepreneur. I saw how tough it was, so I decided to pick a safe job. Now, the safe job that I chose was at Lehman Brothers, which you might know is the biggest bankruptcy in the history of the world. So sometimes when you think you make a safe choice, actually it turns out to be quite different. Then after 6 years of doing investment banking on a Wall Street firm, I co-founded a boutique. I wasn't really an entrepreneur yet because it was still a pretty safe bet. This boutique was called Noah Advisors, also known from the Noah conference. And by the way, very good job to the guys who organized this conference because I think it's very well done. So, contrary to most other people today, I'm going to very selfishly promote my own business because I think that's actually the best way that I can be helpful to you today. So what is Deal Room? We allow you to work directly with top VC funds and super angels of your choice. The question has been asked to you already today, like how many of you have a startup? I'm going to ask a slightly different question. How many of you have raised money from a VC? Or from a super angel, from an angel investor? How many? Okay, I see a few hands. So once your startup is getting some traction and you see that you're getting somewhere, automatically funds will come to you usually and they show some interest that they want to invest in the business. But what do you do next? Well, historically, as a founder, you had basically two choices when you reached that point. One is you do everything yourself. And the other option is you hire an advisor. Now, what do? If you do it yourself, obviously you don't have to pay anyone to do it for you, so you save a lot of money on fees, and an advisor is expensive. You're in control of everything. But the downside is that you don't have a network. So you only speak with the people who found you, and those might not be the best people to work with. Also, you don't have any tactical experience. So when a VC pulls up a contract and say, hey, you want to sign this, like, you don't know really what to do. Is this the right moment to sign? Should you speak with more people? What happens if I sign? Are they gonna really give me the money or not? Stuff like that. And if your talks with VCs kind of go sideways, it doesn't go anywhere, what do you do? And this happens a lot. In the news and around you, you only hear the success stories, but sometimes it can go wrong. So your safe bet is to hire an advisor. So an advisor, that's what I used to do. I used to be an advisor. He has a Rolodex. He knows some people. He can open some doors for you, you think, you hope. He provides support during the transaction, but the downside is that it's extremely costly. So let's say you're lucky enough to raise 10 million. That's great, but you end up having to write a check of, let's say, 300,000 euros to this advisor, and that's a lot of money, and you can do a lot of things with that money. Also, an advisor usually wants you to write an exclusivity contract or sign an exclusivity contract. And that means that even if your advisor doesn't do anything and you still get funding, you still have to pay them. And I wrote, it's a black box. You don't really know what this advisor is doing for you. I mean, you speak with them every week or twice a week and gives you an update on how everything is going, but what is this person actually really doing? So we're offering a kind of best of both worlds solution. If you use our service, you have full control and transparency. You see in real time what's going on. You can pick yourself which funds you want to work with. If you want to work with Index, Accel, Y Combinator, Boulderton Capital, you name it. Doesn't matter who you want to work with. You get to choose, and we make sure that you get in front of them online. It's a streamlined process, so we created a kind of a funnel, a timetable that everyone has to stick to, so you know that you know when your deal is going to be complete. We are still your advisor, so we give full support. If there is ever a problem, we jump in, and the contract that you sign with us is much more flexible. So you can fire us at any time. If you don't like us anymore, that's fine. You fire us, and immediately you can continue on your own. If it turns out that you bring your own investor, and the investor didn't come through us, you don't have to pay us. So how does it work? On our site, you can create what's called a project, and you upload some statistics about your business. Then you choose the best funds that you want to work with, and we help you choose the best ones for whatever it is that you do. You manage all your files, so you upload your decks, KPIs, some numbers. It's a streamlined and simplified process, and you get real-time insights into who is actually looking at your numbers. So it's a simple process from start to finish. Starts with uploading your data. We then check if the data is good, if it's good enough, if we think it's good enough to get interest from the right funds. Then we send out an invitation. We just launched one transaction also today. And then you can start working with those funds, and you see who is actually spending time. It's not like you're sending out a PDF presentation to 20, 30 funds by email, and you don't actually know who is really looking at it. Our payment model is very simple, so it's freemium. There is a free version. If you already know which funds you want to work with, which funds you want to invest in your company, and they already know you, you can choose our free version and just use the data room to share files. And if you're lucky, then you can get also some additional funds that you didn't know yet. They will ask if they can also look into your data room, and they might request to participate in your round. But if you're not yet sure which funds you want to work with, and you would like our help, then we can agree to an engagement letter, and we ask for a 1% fee. Then we become your financial advisor. The deal is endorsed by us, so we say we use our relationship to say this is a transaction that's actually really worth looking at, and we make sure that the whole process gets to the finish line. So now, just to finish off, this is our business model explained, because I've been speaking to you from as startup founders, but there are also investors using our website. So we've signed up 1,137 funds so far. That basically covers 80% of all the tech investment activity in Europe. Also almost 250 angels. We cover all geographies, including Turkey. Actually, a lot of funds are very keen to invest in Turkey and the region. We cover all growth stages, from seed stage to late growth stage, and even to buyout funds. Funds on our platform have experience in all sectors, and you can pick and choose to work with funds that know your market, which I would highly advise. Then we have so far signed up 13,500 companies. I believe it's now around 15,000 across all industries, also all growth stages. Between funds and companies, there are 150,000 tracking connections. Actually, I recently asked, this number is a few months old. It's now around 350,000. A tracking connection means that a fund is tracking the progress of your business. So they get alerts and news about your company. If there are any numbers, if we are able to find numbers like number of downloads of your app, or number of traffic on your website, and there's a sudden spike in there, then they will get an alert. And finally, what we're really doing this all for is to help companies with fundraisings, and we have done 14 so far, and the average size is around 5 million. So I realize that for not everybody in this room that they're not at that stage yet, But for us to consider working with you, you should try to get roughly, you know, if you have, let's say, 1 million users and good growth, then it starts to become relevant. That's it. Thank you very much.